that was how the idea of Yishuv Eretz Yisrael came into the world. It came into the world with a klipa of negativity, but it represented a way of getting the Jewish people back to Eretz Yisrael. Now, if I could put myself out on a limb here, you may remember last year, 2 years ago, there was a rabbi in London, Rabbi Dweck, Sephardic rabbi, who got into big trouble because he made a speech about gay and lesbian relationships in which he said, there's something we can learn about this. I'll discuss in a moment what he said. And he got into tremendous trouble. He is very, very lucky that he kept his job. There was a tremendous movement on the London-based answer just to remove him, etc. And I believe that what he agreed to, although maybe they're not carrying out, that every single drasha he would give in the future he had to submit for advance approval. I honestly do not think I would even keep a job with that condition, but that was the initial condition that was imposed upon him. And I was curious. I actually heard, I listened to part of the talk, not the whole thing. It was a 2-hour talk. And when I heard it, I don't know, it didn't shock me at all. I just said, hey, that's Rav Kook. That's Rav Tzadok, that's all. What was Rav Dweck's point? Rav Dweck's point is, listen, obviously the Torah prohibits homosexual relations. The Torah calls it an abomination. The Torah says you're not allowed to have it. So when people talk about gay marriage or gay sexual relations, at least if it's male homosexuality, it's an aveira. There's no way we can say it's good. No way it's permitted. That's why it was absolutely shocking. I don't know if you saw this picture. There was a so-called Orthodox rabbi who married under a chuppah, 2 men, both of whom were wearing kittles, one of whom was a gay person who was just ordained as an Orthodox rabbi. Again, obviously this is wrong, but Rav Dweck's point was that within this externality of things that are sinful, there are certain lessons that men should also be capable of having friendship. Men should be capable of expressing emotions, right? It's a well-known idea that men, again, I'm generalizing, obviously there are many exceptions, men tend not to have deep emotional relationships with people, other than their wives, hopefully, as opposed to women that have much richer emotional lives. So maybe something like, gay movement is telling men to open up and to learn to love and to learn to care. Yes, it's carried out into a totally improper channel, but there's a garin. So when I heard this, I said, yeah, this is Rav Kook. This is what Rav Kook, this is the idea that sometimes holiness enters the world in the guise of impurity, but the response that you take is not to reject, but to try to extract the holiness from the impurity. Now, you can understand that this type of idea was a very explosive idea, a very controversial idea, and a very dangerous idea, because it suggests that within sin and within Tumah, there are sparks of light. Now again, even though Rav Kook articulates this, and Rav Tzadok as well, it is based on passages in the Zohar, it's based on Kabbalistic ideas, that even in darkness there are sparks of light that have to be found. So these were some of the very, very controversial ideas of Rav Kook.